Okay, let's start with a question that might just flip everything you thought you knew about the natural world completely on its head. I mean, we all grew up with those stories, right? The lion is the king of the jungle. But what if the true royalty, the actual rulers of the animal kingdom, aren't lions at all, but elephants?
Welcome to the absolutely incredible world of elephant empires. Today, we're not just looking at a herd of animals. No, we are diving deep into a society so complex, so sophisticated, it's basically an architecture built from pure wisdom. So here's our game plan. We're going to start with the one in charge, the matriarch. Then we'll zoom out to their bigger family groups, their clans. We'll try to decode their amazing language, understand this living library of knowledge they carry, and then finally see how it all comes together as one of nature's most elegant systems. All right, first up, the ruling matriarch. And listen, she's not the leader just because she's the oldest or the biggest. She is the herd's living memory. She is its chief decision maker. In this world, everything, and I mean everything, revolves around her. So what does she actually do all day? Well, you can think of her as wearing a bunch of different hats, all at once. She is the central memory bank, holding literally decades of survival knowledge. She's the chief decision maker, making all the tough calls for the group. But just as importantly, she's the head teacher for the young ones and the ultimate guardian of the herd's safety and stability.
And this is not some kind of symbolic, hands-off leadership. Oh no, this is direct life-or-death teaching. She is physically showing the next generation where to find that hidden waterhole during a drought, which mountain passes are safe to cross, and the ancient migration routes their ancestors walked centuries ago. This is knowledge passed down. This is wisdom in action.
So we've got that core family unit down, but you know what? It gets even more complex. Let's pull the camera back a bit to the next level of their society and see how this builds into something much, much bigger: clan cohesion. Now, this is a really important difference to get. A family unit, that's your core group, close relatives, all led by that one matriarch. But a clan is a whole network of these families. They're all connected, they share territory, they have social bonds. It's almost like a close-knit neighborhood of allied families. And don't for a second think this is just some casual get-together. These clans are highly functional alliances. They coordinate their defense against predators, and trust me, they are a much more formidable force together than they are alone. Plus, they share critical information, intel about where to find food and water across these huge, constantly changing landscapes. It's a true cooperative network where sharing what you know means everyone survives. But wait, how in the world do they coordinate all of this? That brings us to their incredible language. This is the secret sauce for how they maintain these complex social bonds, sometimes over miles and miles of open country. The secret, it turns out, is something called infrasound. These are these incredibly deep, low-frequency rumbles that actually travel through the ground and the air. We can't even hear them, but to another elephant, it's a crystal-clear message from a friend miles and miles away. It's their own private, long-distance internet. And it's not just the infrasound. Their communication is so multi-layered. They have this whole rich vocabulary of trumpets and rumbles that we can hear. They use touch, like greeting each other with their trunks for social bonding. And they have an entire language made up of posture and ear flapping. It's amazing. But here is where it gets truly mind-blowing. Scientists have been studying these complex calls, and what they're finding is changing everything we thought we knew about animal communication. It looks like elephants don't just have generic calls for danger or let's go. No, recent discoveries suggest they have unique, specific calls for individuals. Just let that sink in for a second. They have names. They can literally call out to a specific friend across the savannah. The level of social intelligence there is just staggering. So this incredible communication system, it allows them to build and maintain something truly powerful, a library of knowledge that gets passed down through the generations. And this little cycle here explains it perfectly. The matriarch, she's like the head librarian. She holds all the vital information. She spends her entire life teaching it to the younger females. Then, when it's their time, they step up to lead, which makes sure that this priceless library of knowledge survives for the next generation. The herd is a living library. So what's actually in this library? Pretty much everything they need to survive. Maps of hidden water sources, warnings about dangerous territories, and even institutional memory of past disasters, like droughts or major floods, so they know exactly how to handle them when they happen again. And all of this entire society,
is held together by incredibly deep emotional bonds. Elephants are well known to have these complex grieving rituals. They mourn their dead. They'll revisit the bones of their loved ones for years. This emotional depth is the glue that holds their whole world together.
So when you put all of these pieces together, the leadership, the social networks, the language, the memory, you start to realize that this isn't just a random group of animals. It is a profoundly elegant system.
Let's try to look at this through a totally different lens, almost like it's a tech system. This is wild. The matriarch, she's the central processor, the CPU making all the key decisions. Their incredible communication network, well, that's like a sophisticated network protocol, making sure information gets exactly where it needs to go. Their collective memory, it acts as a shared database, accessible to the entire group. And the herd's incredible resilience, its ability to survive all these challenges, that's the output of a sophisticated algorithm, one that is constantly learning and refining itself generation after generation.
The big takeaway here is that none of this is by accident. This is a highly efficient, incredibly adaptable, and deeply resilient system that's been perfected by nature over millions of years. It is, quite literally, wisdom made real. And that really leaves us with one final thought to take away from all this. If a system this complex and this intelligent exists in elephants, what other forms of profound intelligence are out there in nature, right in front of our eyes, that we're only just beginning to see?